sent him some information. I sent him some information that I never heard back, and I noticed it doesn't look like they.
That's very far.
Yeah.
All right. I think we're good to go.
Are we good now? Okay, then I'm going to call the July 14th Design Review Committee meeting to order, and please join me with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, and we will start with item number 3, which is public forum. Any person may address the committee on any item that's not on this agenda. Is there any public comment? For items not on the agenda? Okay. Consent calendar, consent agenda has the design review committee minutes of May 12th on it. Do I have any recommendations or a motion to approve?
I just had one question on the minutes, Aaron. Or yes, under, well, I don't see it, the public forum. Okay, I think there was also a request to have opportunity to see the project. The Jehovah's Witness, the old mine office. If we'd be allowed to have access to see its character. I did sneak in this last week, but that was a part of the discussion. I was in the public forum.
Yeah, during the public forum, he requested that we be able to see whatever they submit back.
Yeah. John requested that in the public forum. I can amend the minutes to include that.
No problem. I move to approve as amended.
I have a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, great. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. And that gets us to the item du jour, which is 5A, design clearance 110 Gold Dust Trail, a new 828 square foot single family residence. Erin, do you want to introduce this?
Sure. So before you tonight is an 800 and what did you just say? 828 square foot prefabricated home. So different than a manufactured home. This is a home that is partially built on site and then installed on a permanent foundation on the property. So it is before you tonight for design review purposes of the exterior elevations only. The application is also going through the use permit process and the site plan permit process because they are putting a residential structure in a commercial zone. That's the CUP, and anything requiring a building permit in the C2 zone requires a site plan permit. So we are working on that process. I wanted to bring this to you guys first so you could provide feedback on the overall design. So if they needed to make any changes, they could do that before we get to the site plan CUP process. That lot up there is zoned C2. I cannot imagine that ever being used in a commercial fashion. It's one of those weird ones up there that has a commercial zoning, but because of its proximity and access could not really be used as a commercial property. It's a 6-acre lot. They're proposing a very small structure. I included the manufacturer's I included the manufacturer's specs on it, plus the site plan and elevations that they have included. So it is more of a modern look versus the historical look, but they do incorporate some elements of within the design guidelines. Again, this is prefabricated, so they have certain finishes they can pick from of the options. And I did talk to the applicant about what kind of changes could be made. And there are some changes, but not a ton. So again, I wanted to get out ahead of this so they have time to work on this while we work through the rest of their entitlement application. And I don't know, I'm assuming you guys are not the applicants. You are the applicant. Okay.
Good.
So she can answer questions, and I don't know if Alex is online. You're okay.
Yeah.
And if you do want to speak, if you could go to the mic, because it's being broadcast and recorded.
That,
If we have any questions, we'll bring you up to the microphone if we have any questions.
yeah, so I think it was your application that said that, and I thought I checked. Okay, I mean, you're not over the lot coverage, so we're good there, and we'll make sure we have that confirmed.
There. Because when you go to Google Maps, 110 is in a different location.
Yes, it's that corner of where Gold Dust Trail and Greenstone Terrace, which are all kind of just dirt roads that are, yeah. Yeah.
Of it, but it's, that was.
Let's
really
see.
Confusing things to me is what lot are we talking about?
And if you go up there, there's still a for sales. Is the real estate sign still there? Maybe that's what I saw. I walked up there last month. And I thought there was a sign still up there, and there was a weed abatement notice.
Do you have an APN on that?
Yes, it is on.
Right up on the screen.
Was that like a month ago, though?
Right here.
Then maybe I was looking at the
You
wrong
can
lot
print out
too.
one.
Gold dust.
Hang on, I can see it better closer. 270.
Yeah. Yeah, that's, yeah, because it's the,
I'm pulling it up on Parcel Quest. Hang on.
it is the Jehovah's Witness Church, and then there's two houses and then the lot. Yeah.
So Greenstone starts right here and goes up and around, goes back down, and then Terrace, Gold Dust Trail goes up all the way to the gate. That goes up to it's at Campbell's construction site, or the old Eureka, right? Gold Dust goes from this corner Swift Barn all the way up to actually okay, so it's not this corner down here at Church, it's all the way back around.
Yeah, it's,
Sorry, John, can I just remind everybody to use the microphones? It really helps me when
I'm sorry,
minutes.
I did turn it on. Okay,
Google Maps.
so actually,
We're gonna have Aaron pull it up on Google Maps because it shows.
there's the bin coming down in. So that access that used to,
Yeah.
you used to be able to get to it, where John Campbell put the,
gate,
it's right there.
okay,
But if you,
So there's Gold Dust Trail. This is.
so it's not that,
Yeah.
see,
Yeah, I think
see,
so.
I saw Gold Dust Trail that way,
Um,
and excuse me, Gold Dust this way, Greenstone that way, you're going all the way around,
because
Gold
you
Dust
know,
Trail.
You're right at the intersection
on
there
this
where
one
it
is this
says
one.
Gold Dust
Yeah.
Trail and Greenstone
this is north and that's north
Terrace.
on Google Maps.
Okay, so it's this
So,
corner
yeah.
right there,
It's where the,
okay.
where it's,
So it's near, is that near what the old,
but if you get that large enough.
is this parcel near the old superintendent's residence? Okay,
You need to contact Google Maps because it probably takes years to get it changed, but they've got it numbered like 96 instead of 110. So, and then 110 is something else with a building. And, you know, people have trouble.
Yeah,
navigating
and
GPS and
Parcel Quest shows it as 46,609 square feet.
Okay, I will. I don't, that was, yeah, on your out.
I mean, which is still,
What is,
large enough to
Yeah.
accommodate.
Now I got all my pages messed up. That's okay.
Where are you coming off of, the street with your driveway? and stuff? Or that it doesn't show it on the site map? Just out of.
But just
Well,
that,
there's no driveway shown on the. Hmm? Well, I know, but where are you, which road are you coming off of?
I'd like to go across that corner of the circuit from
Using both,
Terrace and go this way. The house sitting back from it.
Because planning obviously is going to want to look at those, configurations, but it does kind of affect us a little bit in how we can perceive the relationship on the site as you approach it, whatever. Although it's back in the woods, I admit.
you either should be up there or you shouldn't be up there, from what I could tell.
What
Yeah.
page does it show on the application? You said it was 800 square feet? No.
828 square feet is the house size.
Yeah.
Oh, John is asking the size, 828. And so I know that there is no driveway shown on there. I've asked for that. And I think based on conversations with neighbors, we're confirming access. So did you see my email today?
No.
No, not you.
Oh,
Yeah, and yeah. So we're still confirming where the access is to that property, what street, if it's Gold Dust.
well, you mean, so you don't know whether the address is really 110?
No, it is. What a neighbor was saying is that it actually, Gold Dust like dead ends at the corner of your property, and that the corner of your property and their property, that's the property line, and there's not like a road through there. Okay. Yeah. So that is,
Yeah, this is a,
Could you put
this is a strange lot because it's, the way Parcel Quest is showing it is that Greenstone Terrace actually cuts through part of the lot.
Can you put Google Maps up on the screen?
yeah, I saw a map
But zoom into it so you can see the whole.
that showed some of
Because
that.
the numbers, 110 is not it's at the. And it shows, see the numbers on there are the street numbers on the parcels.
It's showing it as.
I mean, I don't know if they're right. I'm just saying that that's what they have on Google Maps. And see where the parcel goes through. I mean, the road kind of goes through.
So after I
I was
put
gonna
this design review agenda packet together, we received some additional information from a neighbor, and it shows that also, that Greenstone Terrace cuts through about where the red dot is on that map.
Yeah,
And so,
But that shows that it's.
It's the not the right ad. I think that's all stuff that can get worked out with the site plan. Have they submitted the site plan?
yes.
Okay,
And so we are doing internal review.
okay.
I
So
just
these are all
wanted-
things that definitely need to get hammered out, but I think what I want to kind of move on
Yes.
here is to get to the design of the actual building. Because that's what's in our purview.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I brought it to you before, as we're still working on this, in
Yeah.
case there's.
but it did
changes.
create some confusion because I wasn't sure that that was a lot either until
Yeah.
I called up the APN, and I should have done that earlier. My fault, but okay. John, questions, comments about the design of the building?
yes. Okay. So I have to apologize. I can't see out of one eye, so I'm at a disadvantage. Did you review the standards yourselves as the owners? Look at the applicable portions when you identified that of the 5 genres that we kind of trend into this historic district, Craftsman Bungalow is one. And it said in the application, or at least Aaron put on the application, that you were gravitating to a Craftsman Bungalow motif, okay? And on, what's that? Okay. Did you forward them any of these standards of, and literature that describes what those elements are? And we actually have 6 residential examples of bungalow and Craftsman that are in the district, okay? Did they get that page too? Okay, page 47.
Yeah. Mhm.
So they've had access to the text of Craftsman.
Yes, and
the photos as well.
based on their response, based on the applicant's response, who's Alex from this company, he called out some of the design materials, the material, exterior materials that are also in the design standards.
Okay. Because it's not a very large representation and the drawings for me to view. And I haven't been able to see this week, so I have
Okay,
a definite
yeah.
disadvantage. Sandy, I'm sure we'll have a better review.
I just-
But I find that
yeah.
a lot of the elements I see in the photo and on here, in my creation of this stand, were not really Craftsman, okay, or bungalow. They're not that kind of low square profile. But Sandy's much more comfortable with that genre than I am. So I was just trying to understand if everybody had all the right paperwork.
I have a question on that. Is that an attic area? Is that a 2-story living room? What? I mean, to me,
It's
Well,
it's
to me,
a little
it's-
over, it's like 14 and a half feet,
it's what?
14 and a half feet, I think, 15 feet.
So that's clear story windows?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't, it's like they just pulled out something out of their files and said, this is what it's gonna look like in
Oh, yeah, I took this as 2-story.
building. To me, it's,
That's a clear story.
yeah, well, I know what that is, but I'm saying they didn't represent that to you. That is not an.
So you're saying
Wait.
that front elevation is 14 feet?
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
Well, yes, can you blow up any dimensions on that sheet?
It says 14 feet. Wow, the scale is bizarre.
It isn't, it would be like more like you or me. What does it say? It says it's 14 feet.
Mhm.
What does it say at the eve? What is it? on the
At 8
side?
8 foot,
10. Oh, at the 8 feet.
it's showing 8 foot to the eave. 8 foot to the eave. So they're saying that this section is,
Almost 7 feet.
yeah. I mean, I guess it,
The package that I had.
Is that open to the downstairs or is this attic area up there? I mean, it's like a full story of attic, huh?
yeah.
Just a clear story window. So so I think it's got to be a shed roof.
Yeah, the shed roof.
Okay,
Well, then how does it mean?
that's what I'm saying. You tell me.
Not me, I didn't do it.
No, but I mean, no, that you understand the elements of a Craftsman or bungalow.
Oh, well, yeah, and this doesn't meet them, but it's not,
This looks more mid-century modern to me,
yeah. That's what it looks like to me too.
which is, I mean,
Did they have other?
It is in the, I question the fact that this is in the historic zone. Actually,
It is.
is it
Yeah.
visible from Highway 49?
No, it's not visible anywhere.
Well, so I question why it is in the historic district.
Oh, I can tell you the answer to that.
yeah, because
On the old-
that's a historic area of town and there are old houses in that area.
Yeah, from the
There are some old houses in that area.
mine office. That whole Skunk Hollow was a residential mining encampment. And then like the Swift's house and all those go back to 1800. So that all the way up to
Well,
Campbell's is in the zone.
it is a hodgepodge.
Well, that's true.
There is a hodgepodge out there, yeah.
I mean,
There's-
that's what I don't know what standards we should be keeping them to. It does not meet anything in the historic zone. If we're supposed to be enforcing that, I question whether we should be enforcing that.
Oh,
So,
good.
So what the design guidelines say for new construction within the historic zone, historic district is shall incorporate significant design elements of the mother lode style without necessarily copying other historic structures. New construction is to utilize the basic form and elements of the mother lode style and should draw inspiration from the historic architecture, resulting in a reflection of the dominant building patterns and materials used historically in the city. New structures that appear excessively dissimilar to those found elsewhere in the historic district are discouraged as the structures that represent a mix of architectural styles. So I think one thing that the committee should, we struggled, you guys struggled with this on the other vacant lot right there that was trying to do a Victorian, that it was very obvious an attempt at Victorian. It's like you want it to have some elements, but without trying to, you're not going to be able to replicate 100-year-old Victorian with new construction, I guess, unless you really,
Oh, you can do it. It's,
unless you really had
you,
a,
if that's the
Yes.
look you want.
yes.
You know, this is, I wasn't able to vote on the house behind me. The Gordon's house and the cottage, and this is very similar to that to me.
yeah.
Where there's some elements, and if you look at it, kind of eyes crossed, so you can get a barn out of it.
That's why we brought it to design review
So,
early in the game.
but I'm kind of where Sandy is, where it's like, it's got some elements of, it's got horizontal siding and vertical windows. The roof pitches on the sides are okay. I'm not so thrilled about the roof pitch on the top because that really screams mid-century to me. But then again, you're not gonna, no one's gonna see this house in there. So yeah, I kind of get where Sandy's coming from too. So, but does it meet the standards? I would say no, it doesn't meet the standards.
Yeah, my observations would be a couple. One, by including Skunk Hollow, that area right up here, in the historic residential zone map, it was mainly because it essentially, there are artifacts and whatnot all the way up to, including upper ridge there, the Campbell site, that were part of the 3 Eureka mines. The city owns the middle one, okay, the central Eureka. The airport is where the southern Eureka was at. And then we've had issue from the creek up to Campbell's as the south or old Eureka. And that's pretty well documented, and we won't go over that too much. So the Skunk Hollow area does have still a few elements of that period. But after the mines shut down, all those became more contemporary, and that's in the late 40s and 50s, 1840s, 50s. So the area just became a growth of stuff that was the latter part of the 1800s. Okay. There's a few things along here that go around the corner and up a little bit on Greenstone, but the rest of them are more payday in terms of they've grown out of the little folk Victorians. And then there's some that were much more contemporary, 50s and 60s and 70s construction that are up there, okay? But none of those that are the 50s, 60s, and 70s, which are outside the 1942 genre timeframe, are as boldly mid-century or contemporary as this one appears to be from what I can see so far. That's why I was asking if this kit company actually had more examples that were in, and I don't want to say ranch, but in the 50s, 60s genres that are beyond our 42 limit, but meet the criteria of being compatible with your neighbors. So, okay, so the standards say be compatible with your neighborhood.
Yes.
It's a very eclectic neighborhood, but there's a greater number of 50s and 60s structures than there are 1800 and 1940s. You know what I'm saying? So, quote, to fit in, moving to the 1980s or 75 vintage is a large stretch for me. Okay. If it goes outside the boundaries of the 5 genres, I'd like to have it stay at least compatible with the genres of the majority of the structures in that region, in its neighborhood. Does that make sense to you? I don't know if it makes sense to the rest of it. Does that make sense?
I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I, you know, I was just explaining the design standard to somebody the other night. You know, that you said two or one word that's we used throughout, and that was compatibility with the surrounding neighbors. And I don't think it's mostly newer that's directly surrounding them.
50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is
But-
mid-century looking.
Yes, the 80s and are there.
But it is more, it's a more of a modern look than
Yeah.
the other houses around there are more traditional
Yeah.
in their look, you know, porches and things like that around them.
And there is the superintendent's house is right kind of around the corner there too. And it's tucked in there, but it's an old Victorian.
Yeah.
And then of course at the corner we have this Victorian. But then rather once you go, we get away from that genre. I didn't see hardly anything in that loop when I walk it and drive it that has got much craftsman or bungalow in it. But I see a little of the more folk or shotgun kind of stuff. And then I see a lot of the 50s and 60s.
Mm.
Okay. But this goes to the 90s, 80s and 90s. And I'm thinking, if they have a package that meets your needs and it's in the 50s look or 60s look, it would be more compatible to the neighborhood. And still speak to the history of Sutter Creek. So
I
I'm
also think you would want some kind of protection to all the front elevation to your doors and windows that are at the front of the house, where it's just going straight up without any, yeah.
Overhang over it.
Something. Is there any overhang over these?
Maybe an overhang over. Yeah.
Let's see.
Is it shown here?
I think if you look on the specs I sent, maybe.
I don't know. I wish the elevations were more clear, because if I look at the plan correctly, it's facing the entry facade faces pretty much due west, south by southwest.
I mean,
Now
there's
there's a lot
barely
of
any overhang there.
overgrowth. So these clear story glass and the entry glass are strongly hit by the
Oh.
westerly exposure,
Yes.
which is the worst thing. If you have a house that has that exposure today, it's very hot, unless it's a greenhouse. Overhangs make a lot of sense everywhere, even in the 50s and 60s. And this one is going to cook.
There is a front eave add-on package, 24 inches overhang with recessed lights. There's a metal roof add-on package. There is porches, decks. It looks like
Guess what
an
we
add-on
really need is
package.
to look, see something that's an elevation that shows what they're actually going to provide.
Well, this
Let me see what-
elevation do it, but it's,
Because maybe if it had those things on it, it would be a little bit softer looking
For this front,
and not as,
oh, there isn't any, it's just,
that's what I'm saying. It should
and is the
have. you know,
designer
you would
online or?
Instead of having the
Is he
clear story
online,
windows up
Alex?
on the west,
He was,
Side.
sounds like it's,
you don't want it,
let me see.
it'll be a
an
be a hot
oven.
place to be in. So you
So-
just consider that though.
If you, I attached it, that elevation of the specs, it shows an overhang
Where?
on page, where's your, on page? Oh, Where's my,
I'm looking at the
where did my
elevation on,
packet go?
can't see what page. Oh, 4.0, page 4.0.
No, it's 10,
No, it's on
Page-
page,
12,
it's it should be after the plans.
12?
Here, what page is
The
that?
one that
Oh,
has,
it's-
it was the specs for the house that
Yeah, I'm looking at.
page
this.
14.
You see the,
What's that little? Oh. I
So on
see it.
page 14, it says
Okay, that's what
pocket
I'm saying. There's no-
828
no.
on the top.
This is- The copy machine did me a
Go-
disc.
go to-
That one, yeah.
Yes, but go to the next one where. it's
Page
drawn
12.
There, and then there's the elevation down here, the hand-drawn one, or the
Okay.
Mhm.
construction drawing one. It does not show anything horizontal
Yeah.
between that would be an overhang between the clear story windows that facing.
And maybe if it did have that overhang, it would be a little bit softer
Yeah.
looking.
And so that's an add-on.
Is this?
Well, but I mean, this is a square box, this building. The
Mhm.
only thing that makes it look craftsman are the porches on either side. It's a very simple, I mean, if you had a patio or an entrance thing, you could make it look craftsman.
So-
Oh,
It looks like with this design,
okay, scroll a little
They-
further down.
a front porch can be added.
Okay.
If that type of addition is not what the DRC wants to see, I mean, this applicant has chosen to go a prefabricated route. I don't know that the idea of adding a ton extra to that, like. Yes. Yes, so I think, if the additional changes that are options here are something the DRC wants to see, that's one thing, but if it's above and beyond that, and you'd have to get a second contractor out to build this and that, you may, I want to get that information to her now, so that you can kind of decide how you'll proceed. Because it sounds like as it is now, the DRC is not comfortable with the design.
Stop. Okay, so.
Sorry.
Okay, so this is the front. Okay, elevation, you've got doors, and the clear story. Scroll down. This is the back.
Oh, it's the side. Is that the back elevation?
Yeah, that's the back.
No windows in the back?
Bring me down to the rear, stop. So this is the rear, which is all flat, there's no fenestrations at all. Yeah, whatever reason. This is the roof shed, which is very shallow, of the clear story. So now go to the rear, from the rear go up. The other way. Stop. So this is the front here. This has that clear story with one set of windows here and then set of windows, and this is the shed, it goes back. But not all the way back. Okay, and this is the other side that has levels, and it's the same shed. The shed roof does not show up anywhere in our compatibility neighborhood. There's no, except there's some sheds, okay? There's no shed roofs anywhere in Scottsdale. Fine, that's part of the architectural regional part of the house. They were all 3 and 12, 4 and 12 suites, all kinds of stuff. And they don't have, they all have eyebrows, or as she said, porches, something to keep sun out. Okay, there's reducing solar gain, and this has virtually none. The overhang on this one is, well, I think, I can't read it that clearly. The overhang here on the clear story is upward, back to the black side. So I don't see any of the elements that would be in any of the pre-1942 genres, or that you would find in a 42 to a 60s or 50s genres. Does that make any sense to you?
It does, but given the location where this is, I don't know who was ever going to see it.
Well, I would just think for your own comfort, since it is
Well, that's-
facing west, you want a patio. I mean, you,
Wait,
well, I
Well,
would think you would
the
rather get rid
gold,
of the clear storage and have a patio out with a roofed patio
Right.
facing west, so you could sit out there and enjoy
Right.
the area.
Yeah.
And the clear storage, I'll bet you if you put this in, you were gonna have aluminum foil or something up there covering those clear stories
My
because,
sister has an electronic screen that comes down over her windows that she just pushes a button.
yeah,
I think
well,
that's
something
what
like that,
a
but
window does.
you're not gonna want the heat gain that those clear stories give you because of the orientation that you want. So you kind of have to make trade-offs in what you want, but we're just,
Well, it was maybe
that's
just
not
a
part of
concept like, I wanted so much light, but, right. that probably makes it better.
and if you just did something that,
Yeah.
that's some kind of a column, I mean, a prefab stuff on your porch that would, if you want to make it look craftsman-y, you can do it pretty easily without, I mean, just as a suggestion, you're,
Do it like-
Yeah.
It's not on the plan.
Yeah,
but
okay, well,
there's-
that's what I'm hearing you say, and I'm just saying she's not gonna get
Yeah.
that place to sit in the afternoon with no overhangs or anything, and nothing is shown on here.
I
And-
think, yeah, I think taking the input that you're hearing and talking to the designer about maybe making it a little bit more compatible with the neighborhood, being mindful of the porch and kind of softening that front appearance, you maybe increasing the pitch or have it,
Where I would suggest that you might want to cruise around is like if you ever go down to Folsom area and in there off of Sunrise, there's a lot of cute little houses in there that have different facades that some look craftsman-y, some look, different styles you can tell. And if you could look at some of those and see what they do, very little to the front porch that just give it that style.
Yeah.
And it's not a real costly thing. I think you could put some skylights maybe on the roof to get
So
more
I-
light if you want.
And that will be a discussion you have with
Yeah.
this company because that may be going above and beyond what they are able to customize. So,
Or they might have other,
Getting certain floor plans that go with certain superiors that I that's picked for. I wasn't at the time specifically looking at a style.
Yeah.
What I wanted, and I wanted to do this.
Yeah.
yeah.
So.
yeah.
And I understand yeah. And while I get what you're saying about, and because I actually brought it up, was you're not going to see this place. However, we allow this, then the neighbor next door wants to put an ADU in that doesn't match, and then you're just kind of opening Pandora's box. So we just try to be mindful of that too. So,
It's hard.
yeah,
Surprises me.
so we.
it
well,
surprises me too, but that is what it is what it is, and the standards.
The adopted, yeah.
And I think, at least from my standpoint, willing to be real flexible here, but this goes past that flexibility, compatibility in the neighborhood flexibility, in my mind. It needs just a little bit more
Erin, are you?
massaging.
I would also like to share that as the city continues to protect and enhance and encourage people to know the history, this Skunk Hollow is much like Badger Street, okay, where 30 years ago, it wasn't considered very desirable or interesting. But the more people realize that Skunk Hollow was yeah, I didn't think in 1970 Badger Street was very interesting at all.
Yeah.
But, okay, but Skunk Hollow now, as we've The city has spent money on the central Eureka Park side and preservations. We have lost everything with the South Eureka, but the old Eureka is becoming more interesting. There's several placards by the Native Sons and whatnot. The people who own the site where the tailings were at and the mining was actually done have preserved the shaft, and they actually work in the change house. The church we just noticed is we're trying to find a way to make sure they preserve, like the Monteverde story, the remnants of the old mine office. And there's a house, like I say, that supposedly is the remnant of the superintendents up there. So the place may seem to be off the map, and it is today. But as people get walking tours, I'm just looking at our walking tours that now take you up through Badger and other places. Skunk Hollow will be a item of historical significance. So
So I just had Aaron pull up, this is the manufacturer's website of the different options.
wow.
Different kinds of structures that they have.
$728 has some. And 996 has some. Some.
Yeah, unfortunately, she has to go in, if she wants a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, she has to pick the ones that say 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So. There are other options there, but I don't know if there's.
I don't know what it's out there. There was a day. I'm not excited, but that's manufacturer. There's used to go to used bookstores and you'll find little booklets that have genres in them, of the old craftsmen or the old Victorians and stuff like that. And they come with floor plans. Okay. Then you find it's a residential. You don't have to pay for an architect, but you just get a quality designer and you could get a 2-bedroom, 2-bath.
Go up a little bit.
Aaron, can you
Any
go
of
up
those?
a little bit? Roll, oh, other way, sorry.
That one in there, I had some.
It's just the last.
One that they,
Yeah, that's the one they picked one.
but I don't know, is there more to scroll down? Thought there was something that showed some columns in front, an entrance. Guess not.
Anyway, so you're actually not the client, is that right? You have somebody you're working for. Oh, you're the client. Okay.
She's the property owner.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're trying to build it for somebody then. Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we're approaching this now and you realize so far, these 3 out of 5 do not see the compatibility with the neighborhood nor the standards.
So I'm assuming the DRC wants to continue this.
Please.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see what the designer can come back with to tighten it up a little bit.
Okay.
It sounded like, again, because of location,
Afternoon and put it where the front porch would be and you'll see what it'll do.
Put a front porch on there and soften it up.
It might, it's got an overhang with the metal slats on it right now, but that doesn't really do anything to soften it, I don't think, or would help you with.
I
think
know
if
we
you
want to move
guys-
on, but I'm looking at the floor plan, and if the program is, and you gave it to the designer, for a floor plan that looks like that, I'm sure, I know Sandy, I maybe could really do a bang up job giving it, where's the floor plan? a bang up, thing with, if you wanted craftsman or you did too. 3 elements, you got 3 segments and you could put hip roofs on the 2 end sides and maybe a little higher one with some clear story on the middle one. And it could have some of the overhangs that are typical of bungalows. It could have maybe some of the masonry or rock faces that could be there or wood, the horizontals. The windows then could be more squared as opposed to vertical. I mean, the windows definitely in this example are not what you'd see in any of the bungalows of Craftsman. I think as a footprint goes, you could put a shell around it that would
I
be very
said,
attractive.
This is a box building.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, what I heard was some flexibility from a couple of you guys. I think
Yeah.
if they could get, maybe you have the rep at the next meeting that could speak to what options are available for the model that you selected, so we could get a really clear picture.
Do you have a contract that you have to do the kit house? To do this kit house, but is it ironclad or? They
Yeah,
can't provide you
let them come back with some suggestions from the designer. I think it, give them the opportunity, give the opportunity to the designer to respond to our comments. And this is a recorded meeting, so he can come back and listen to it. It'll be up on the website. Pardon me? Okay. So, and if he has questions, Aaron, and if he needs to get more information, Aaron can connect with any of us to try to hammer this out.
If you hear back from them with some good ideas, we can meet before another month. It can be set up. And okay, we still do. What's that?
Oh, yeah, cost. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know that they even change window sizes, things like that.
Yeah, because then they have to change the Title 22 stuff. Not Title 22, 24, 24.
totally.
Okay, so this item continued.
Pages are way up. Can I borrow yours for a minute? My pages are all way up.
So,
And I'm available to meet. It doesn't have to be once a month. I know you're,
yeah.
Yeah.
It changes, it sounds like if the commission is, if the committee is available, we could hold this up.
Sure.
Okay.
yeah, I don't want to hold you up time-wise either.
Two
Yeah.
separate items. Yeah.
Okay, so item number 5A is going to be continued, and with that, if there's any other questions or comments, I'm going to adjourn.
Continue as well. Or do we need a motion? to-
Yeah, it'd be good to move.
Okay. I'll make a motion that this application be continued.
Okay.
Looking for a design presentation that is.
Fits the standards
meets the
better.
standards. There.
Okay,
Second.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. And with that, it is 5:51 and we are adjourned.
I have a question. This was asked of me when I was in here for a memorial service. And this, somebody who does jazzercise wanted to know how come we didn't light that window. And I said, there's a light up there. I mean, there's a socket up there. It is burnt out. And there's a switch up there, so you could turn it on. So you could put an LED light.
Last.
I mean, you've got Public Works, they got the pool ready, that was great. But there is, a light behind there